So our next item of business is going to be discussion with possible action, police retirement plan modification, Detective Sergeant Owen Confessori, police pension 185 chairman.
Owen.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. I currently serve as the chairman of the Board of Trustees for the retirement plan for the police officers of the city of Williston. I come before you this evening to ask you to modify the retired officers become vested after 6 years of service. We are requesting that the city council modify the plan to reflect vesting occur at 5 years of service. The plan also indicates that, excuse me, after 30 years of service, regardless of age, that our police officers can retire. We ask that the plan be modified to reflect that police officers are eligible to retire after 25 years of continuous service, regardless of age. In the agenda, I believe it's page 15 and 16, is an email from the Chuck Carr, and he basically looked at the numbers from October 24, and he has estimated that it would incur a cost to the city of 2.13% in order to accomplish this. So I come before the council tonight to ask you to modify our plan to reflect these changes.
Chiefs, Rolls.
Also, if you remember or recall back some time ago, the city changed the plan for the city employees to 5 years. And I don't remember the date of 25 or how long it was before they were able to retire. So what Sarge is doing here tonight is trying to ask the council to make it equal on both sides of the house by making the plans the same at the 5 years fully vested in 25 or
25, yes, sir.
25 at retirement.
Go ahead, Mr. Cox.
So, are there any other departments doing something similar, retirement-wise?
Yeah, as far as FRS and other agencies are 25 and out. That's the norm in the business, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
So if we leave it at 6 and 30, we don't increase our budget by 2.13%, and approximately how much would that be?
That's a question for Mr. Bloom. I don't have that, ma'am. I apologize.
I think it said somewhere. Did I not see it somewhere?
It's a 2.13%.
I thought I saw a
number.
dollar amount somewhere, but I may not have. Maybe not. And I would just it was reduced from 10 years to 6 years a long time ago. So you're right. We did have the value of that, and we did that as a recruitment tool because 10 years is a long time, and people don't do that anymore. I will say that the general employees are now 25 and out, but they don't retire at age 52. So the retirement age for the police department is 52, not 62, like it is for the general employees with full retirement. So that is a difference there. And I realize 25 years is a long time, but 52 is very young. So that still wouldn't make them, still not equivalent if you want to get real about it.
And 52, at age 52, retirement in the law enforcement world is not young anymore.
Yeah, I realize that.
That's years and years and years of stress.
Commitment.
commitment, highs and lows.
Stress.
Yes, it's kind of like our vehicles. They have low mileage, but they have a lot of engine hours.
They do.
If that makes sense to you.
Absolutely.
So, what the Sarge is looking to do is to make it equal on both sides. I know we did this for the general employees as well, and you can jump in here anytime you want because you're the chairman.
Yes, one of the things that I believe that has been discussed in the past is a recruitment tool. The 25 and out is what other agencies and FRS is the standard Florida Retirement Service. A lot of cities are utilizing FRS as well. And when people come to talk to the chief, when people come to talk to me, we are having conversations with people. And when we're telling them, come work at Williston for 30 years as opposed to go work wherever for 25 years, I mean, that's a big pill for them to swallow. So, we are doing our best to recruit people and bring people here. Chief is, doing an awesome job enticing people to come here, but it's really something that we need. It's getting harder and harder and harder to recruit people, and even the bigger agencies are having a hard time. There's just not the people out there wanting to get in law enforcement that there used to be, and we need some assistance in order to recruit and to bring people, to our town. It's something that's really going to help us to bring people in here as we have turnover, which we're going to have.
So let me say this. I never like the fact when people say we want to do this to make it equal on both sides. It shouldn't be about equality in that way. And if you can retire with 25 years of service at 52, essentially you still have that 25. You can get out at 25 years of service, regardless of whether the plan says 30, because you have that provision in there already. So what really is the difference?
Well, once again, like I just said, the recruitment tool, it is getting harder and harder and harder to bring people here to the city to bring new officers on. The 25 years is something that when we have young officers that are coming here and they're asking us, what is it that we have to offer to them? That's something that we can offer to them.
And I'll also add to that, if you don't mind. As Owen spoke earlier, a lot of agencies are now are under the Florida retirement system. We're not. So when we're recruiting and we get a lot of these guys and girls that are coming from different agencies, they're already 3, 4, 5 years in the Florida retirement system. And then when they come here and we tell them we're not in the Florida retirement system, it's harder for them to make that adjustment, because now if they come here and work 5 years, that's 5 years they've lost in the Florida retirement system. That they could be, billing their retirement on in the retirement system. And the age 52 to retire is not a bad number. I retired at 49 with 31 years. So it's a tool that I think that's important that we show young men, women, older officers that want to come to this agency that you can do 5 years here, stay here for 5 years. Hopefully that entices them to stay here for 5 years, where we don't invest a lot of money into somebody and then they're gone in 3 years. We want to try to get that 5 years out of them. But in today's society, it's hard to get people to stay 5, 6, 7 years anymore. This is hard. I mean, and it's getting harder.
So then why not become part of the Florida retirement system?
I was going to ask the same question.
If that's what the
Because it's expensive.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's very expensive. A lot more than what we pay now.
We know
So the
that
2.1% that we would increase is still less than being in the Florida retirement system?
Oh, yes.
I think we pay in
Yes.
about 22% or so to the fire department.
Yeah.
because they're on
For the, okay.
for the FRS. I think it's about 22% of their salary, more than
higher
that.
than that, yeah.
More than that now.
It's,
Okay.
yeah, it's around 25, 26%.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, what we just need to do, just make and do a motion to,
If you all want to make this change, it'll need to be via ordinance.
okay.
I think we still want to discuss.
I can tell you, I
But-
have no problem with moving it from 6 to 5. I'm not.
Right, but what about the other?
I'm not convinced about the other yet.
Because I mean, it needs to be this, in conjunction together, correct? Is that what you're asking?
It doesn't have to be. That's what he's asking. I wish we
Oh,
had
it doesn't.
prices for them individually.
That's my ask. If the council is not prepared to accommodate, excuse me, if the council is not prepared to modify the retirement package for both,
So it'll be a package.
then I'm not asking for everything or nothing. The council can do as they please.
Okay, so it's not a package together either. Okay.
No, I'm asking for both.
I know you want both.
Yes.
But but I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be both.
They can be done
You will
separately.
take it. Okay.
Yes.
Because that's the way I'm reading it, as it needs to be.
We don't have a quote for what separate would be,
Okay.
but they can be done separately.
Okay.
Since we're mid-budget, I would suggest we do the 6 to 5 years now and get a price for the other at budget time.
I would say we get a price for both. And then, can you have it by next meeting? The information?
Did he charge for this? Do you know? If this is an actuary, he
So
probably
this-
charged.
So I was told that this was his number, and then my understanding was that Mr. Bloom could give us the number from the 2.13 of the payroll. So I don't know what,
So in
Mr.
order to break it out, you would need to go back to Mr. Carr. You would need to get a breakdown of each, and then once you have the percentage, then Stephen could give us the actual dollar figure for that.
And there's a fee associated with having that done?
Yes.
If he's an actuary,
So when he
there is.
Huh?
If he's an actuary, he would charge
Yes.
Oh,
to
okay.
give us
Yes.
the number, but it does come out of the plan, not from out of our budget.
right, yes.
Okay.
So the 2.13 was for both.
Yes, so the 2.13 was for the 30 to 25, and it was also the 6 to 5. So if you were to do 6 to 5, it would be less.
One price.
I think the 6 to 5 is very nominal, in all
I
honesty.
would agree. I think that
I think we
my
could do
opinion
that.
would be that the 6 to 5 would be less expensive than the 30 to 25.
Right.
I would like to see the numbers myself.
Okay.
We have a meeting coming up soon, right?
Yeah. March something. April, maybe. You mean at the pension board? It'd be in April.
Say what, Latricia? Miss Latricia?
It's April the 8th.
I'm
What
sorry.
part?
It comes out of the 185 plan.
The
Right.
2.1%?
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out of our
No,
budget.
but still.
No, we'll get it for you. We'll get it for, I was just saying,
Okay.
make sure that you knew that it
The
didn't
price.
come out of our.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't affect,
No,
it doesn't affect.
actuary
your
comes
budget.
out of it,
Yeah.
but the money doesn't.
No,
come
but
out
it-
of it comes out of our budget.
Say that again?
I said the price for the actuary to give us the number comes out of their plan, but
Right.
the 2.13%
comes out of our budget.
Correct.
Okay,
because it adds to payroll every year,
gotcha.
and it will compound each year as the salaries go
Right.
up. That's why I
I mean, that's just personally me. That way we can look at it and then decide to do it all at once instead of having to go back and forth. That's just my suggestion. But do you think we can, when as soon as you think we may be able to get that information?
So what would have to happen is at the next pension
Yeah.
A
meeting,
while?
at
Yeah,
the next
take a
pension
while.
meeting, I would have to ask the actuary, or I would have to ask Jeremy to ask the actuary to do the numbers, and then the time frame would be, from when Jeremy contacted Mr. Carr, and then I think that when I asked last time, I think it was a month to 2 months before I heard back as to what the numbers were.
Right.
And if you do it on two separate ways, there's going to be two separate prices. So he's going to charge two different ways if I'm correct.
If he does it at the same time, it won't be all that bad.
Well, it's
Do
not
you
that
have-
bad now. It's 2.13.
Do you have Jeremy's phone number? If you call him, maybe he can have it for you by the March meeting. And then y'all could, because the way this should really come to us is as a recommendation from the 185 pension board.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing.
They've
Yes.
already approved this?
Yes, yes.
It
yes.
is their recommendation?
Yes. Yes, that's what happened.
Okay. Well,
What happened was I was at pension board meeting and we voted to have the actuary do this so that I could present it to the city council. So that's already been done. Yes.
okay. Well, I have his cell number if you want to call him
Okay.
and ask him to have it for you by March.
I've got his number as well.
Okay, good.
I believe that can be done. I agree with you. Yes, ma'am. All right. All right. So we'll
Because
move
it's-
forward that way.
It's like, what, March the,
So-
no, it's April the 8th. So we ought to be able to have it by then.
So there's another meeting in
Latricia said
between.
no.
So if he cannot have it to us by then can we just put this back on the agenda and then vote then?
Well, I guess, let me see if I understand Ms. Jones correctly, Ms. Jones. I think that the pension board has already voted to have the actuary put together the numbers and then present it to you. I believe that the pension board wanted to move forward to modify the retirement plan. I guess what I would have to do is, and I don't see the pension board having this opinion, but I can't speak for them because there's 5 members of the board, but we were looking to improve the plan, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But I could get the numbers from Jeremy, and I guess I'm going to retract that. I guess the appropriate thing would be for me to meet with them and ask them, did they want everything or nothing? And I'll do that at the next meeting in April, is ask them if they want everything or nothing, but I don't believe that they're going to want everything or nothing. I think that the reasonable way to move with this is to get what we can in order to modify the plan to make it more attractive, which would be to get the 5 years as opposed to, so I will get in touch with Jeremy, get the numbers, and then at the next meeting, tell the other board trustee members what it is and ask them how they want to move forward so that we can bring it back in front of the council.
And I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the board approved to have it done the way that it was just done. You're going to have to go back if they want to cut it in separate ways and ask the board to reapprove them to get the actuator to do
Yes,
it.
in order to spend the money, the board of trustees are going to have to authorize that money to be spent again, yes. So that's if I can call Jeremy and ask if we can get the numbers, but in order for me, that's what my concern with what Ms. Jones was saying was I could call Jeremy, and if he's got the numbers there, but if in order for me to have money spent, I think that I'm going to have to get all 5 board members, or I'm going to have to get a quorum, and we're going to have to vote in order to spend money in order to accomplish that. So if I can call Jeremy and say, is there a percentage, then if he's already got that number, if Chuck Carr's got that number, but if there's going to be a cost involved, then we're going to have to wait until we have the next meeting to actually vote on spending that money.
Yep.
I think that's
very
what the chief
reasonable.
was saying.
Yeah. And he may have both. He may have them both separately, and he just put them together.
Right.
And if he does, that's what you need.
Right. All right. Well, I'll investigate that and figure it out. All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So what's our final here? Do we round table? Are we bringing it back, putting it on the agenda again? I know we talked about getting the numbers, but I don't think there was any clear direction on where we move to next. So do we just bring it back, put it back on the agenda and bring it back?
Yeah.
As soon as he gets the numbers.
If he already has that percentage broken down, we can place it on the next agenda for
The percentage of the two.
the two. Yeah.
Okay.
Separate. We can go ahead and place it on the agenda and make the decision.
Okay, and
And if not, then it has to go back through the process, right, Kiersten?
And then we can ask Stephen, like, let's say it's, 1% and 1.13%, we'll ask him to actually put dollar figures so that they have that as well to make an informed decision.
okay. Yeah, I was just trying to understand the difference, the breakdown of the percentages, because we know it's 2.13. So we know one's probably going to be 1 and the other one's going to be 1.13.
Right.
So we already know the
But
percentages.
we don't want to make that assumption.
And we don't know
because-
the amount of the payroll. That's what we don't know.
Okay.
You may have a fairly good idea, but we don't know what that is to even assume what the 2.13% is. I mean, I just played with it over here pretending it was $200,000. And I know it's way more than that. I mean, that's probably two people. So it's way more than, and I think it was like $46,000 doing that. But so it's going to be way more than that.
And for clarification for my minutes, you want one figure with the 5-year and one figure with the 25
And out.
and out.
Yes, ma'am.
And
And the dollar
just the
amount.
total dollar amount for 2.13
Well, a dollar amount for each one separately, and together.
together.
Yeah. And we'll see if we can handle it during this budget year or need to wait. We may can handle one now and need to wait for the other
All
one.
right.
Because
Thank
it
you.
is mid-budget.
All right. Item number C, discussion on annexation, chief roles in lieu of Mayor Goodman.
Well, I'll make this quick because I talked to the mayor just briefly today to ask him what was his request on the annexation, and pretty much the mayor's question was, is the city interested in annexation or is the city not interested in annexation? And what he said for that was, that way we know what direction we're even looking at moving, going in. Because right now we don't know, not knowing what the council's, interested in, we don't know, do we keep spinning this wheel or do we stop spinning this wheel? And I know the city manager brought up a point that we couldn't do it at this current time because of some state law, correct? But that doesn't stop us from preparing. So we're not 6 months down the road behind the process again. So if we can't do it now, but we know that we are interested in moving forward with annexation, we can start getting things in place so when that time comes, we're ready to roll it out. So that was pretty much his question, was, are we moving forward with annexation, or is the council interested in moving forward, or if the council's not? So that's a question that you all have to answer.
Ms. Meredith?
My concerns are that we already have an aging infrastructure that we need to address, and adding a load to that without having a very specific clear-cut plan for how we are going to address the waste treatment plant, our water lines. I honestly don't know the status of the main water lines that feed out to the edges of town. That would be something that our utility department would have to update us on. But, are we in truth capable of annexing without causing ourselves a whole massive headache and issues? And I just think that's obviously not a very simple answer. But I think before I could say, yeah, I'm for it, or no, I'm against it, I would want to know the answer to that.
And I think the answer to your question, and Alex may be able to add on to this, if you go out 318 way, they're already on our infrastructure already.
Yeah, sewer and water.
Sewer and water. They're just not in the city.
Correct.
So
I understand that, and I guess my concern is that if we say annexation, and it has to mean in any direction. We can't just specifically say, like, oh, well, we're only interested in annexing. I mean, maybe we can.
We can.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
absolutely.
Say which way we
So,
wanna
I
go.
mean, because this question is asked to us very generally, are we open to annexation? And I guess my answer would be, generally speaking, no, not until we have better infrastructure. But if it's specific areas that we want to target, that changes my answer.
And 318 also, we already have water and sewer on most of those customers that we want to annex.
Correct. Exactly.
And I am for targeted annexation. For example, the areas that already have our services.
I'm like, what does that mean?
We'll choose an
But
area
go ahead.
that is actually beneficial to the city.
Correct. Well,
And not, I know it's a discussion, so go right ahead. I have no problem talking with you.
I'm trying to be quiet.
You're okay.
Go ahead.
I have no problem with it.
What do you mean by beneficial to the city?
Well, for example, they already have services, so we would pick up any property taxes, or if there's such a thing. If there's such a thing that's
If there is
left.
such a thing.
And there may not be such a thing by the time we do this. But in all honesty, we have run out of land for people to build things, especially on the commercial corridor.
And we're one-sided.
And we are one-sided. And I believe, I know in the past, the area at East Williston, I believe we need to go all the way to Cornelius Williams Park. Number one, we need to approach all those businesses, and let's see if we can get there.
Yeah.
At one point, they wanted to. And maybe even we go on the other side in southeast, right across the railroad track, going down that way. There are plenty of houses that are in already, but we may need to go a little farther past that four-way stop. We could go a little farther in there and pick up some. But both north, south, east, and west on the main corridors, I think we could have beneficial properties that, and they may not be ready for voluntary annexation yet, but we could talk to them about it. And I don't mean go after somebody and do forced annexation.
right.
But if they're interested in being annexed and being a part of the city, I think we should talk to the people, because we do need to look at Chiefland and Bronson, especially Chiefland and Newberry. They have huge city limits,
Yeah.
and we are just right here.
Yep.
And I think we probably need to expand that area so people can come in.
But I think we also need to look at both sides.
We do.
Not
definitely.
just voluntary. We need to look at both sides. Look at Chiefland and find out if that's your concern. How is it that they annexed
It was, but all their huge part they just got was voluntary.
that part?
Yeah.
But they're a big area and they've been growing for a
But
while.
if we had an area that we really wanted and there were a few people, we could actually put it on referendum and let them vote. That's how you would do it. Let them vote and see if that group of people voted yes or no. So that's how you do involuntary annexation.
So we have one that's potential.
Yeah, and I do think, one of the things that concerns me, and again, our state legislature, is absolutely gutting our ability to control what our city looks like going forward. I mean, they've just passed bill after bill saying we can't control historic districts, we can't control setbacks, we can't control, trees, or anything that keeps our town looking small. And if there's a way that we could control the corridors coming into our city, I don't know if we can anymore, but
right.
I would hate to have our city just be one big strip,
I don't want that.
in any direction. So if there is an advantage to this that we could possibly have a little bit more say, I think Levy County's like, they don't care what we look like coming in and out, but we do.
We do.
And the state doesn't, but we do.
Sure, and
So-
some of what you need to consider is that every parcel that annexes will be its own ordinance in order to annex. So you'll get to really look into these, and there may be people who really want to annex into the city of Williston who may be agreeable to some additional restrictions on their property in order to annex into the city. So it's absolutely something that we can negotiate as part of that process.
I would be much more in favor of it if it helped us sort of create a corridor coming in that kept the small town feel and wasn't just franchise after franchise after franchise as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. But we all know we're not gonna stop construction. I mean, it's coming. I mean,
No, but we've all driven through towns where they've actually managed to say,
Yeah.
hey, keep your signage low, trees, landscaping,
Yep.
setbacks, the facades have to look like this to in keeping with the rural community.
Mhm.
And I know Laura and I, that's the Wawa is the last Wawa ever built that looks like that. And they wanted to bring in this thing that looked like, it belonged
Modern,
in the
very
industrial.
modernistic.
Yeah, very
Oh,
modern.
yeah.
Looked like
Awful.
it belonged
I'm so
outside
glad
of
we
Tampa
changed it.
Airport, right? And we fought for that. And I think that's whatever the feedback that I always
Yeah.
get is people want this town to stay feeling small.
Yep.
So I'm open to this as long as it's with that in mind.
some restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And there are subdivisions that are in the county that would be very appropriately in the city. I can think of, there's a couple, I don't want to say it out loud, people think I'm after them, and they'll run and hightail.
So don't say that out loud.
But at the
Just talk
other,
about it.
at the other end of Northwest 7th Street, there are nice subdivisions down there and on the left. They have no desire to be in the city, I'm sure, but they would be a good addition. There are others in all directions, actually. Out 318, there's some really nice houses. I don't know that they want to come in, but there they are.
All right, Mr. Cox?
I mean, I agree. With possibility of losing property taxes, we got to generate funds some other way. But just like what Miss Meredith said, Miss Meredith, is to control what they look like.
To protect what we have.
I was
agree.
shocked a year ago when went to Newberry and saw their city limit signs not far from Archer.
Jonesville, Archer.
Yeah.
They have huge
Yeah.
city limits.
Yeah.
Everybody's growing.
And it
people
still
took in
looks like
thousands of acres.
county. I mean, well,
Like the city.
small town. Still looks. All right. So so is that like a consensus? Do we have a consensus of everybody that's here that we're interested?
Yeah, for me.
But to be clear,
All
I mean,
those who-
your consensus is yes, in any direction, but voluntary or involuntary?
Work on it.
I'd start with voluntary.
Just look at, yeah.
Because it's easier.
Yeah, we don't have to specify which it has to be at this moment.
Okay.
I would like clarification on what our standards are going to be for that, what our ordinances are going to be for that annexation in order to make sure that we do keep the small town feel. Like I don't want it just be sort of making it up as we go along, because I think that's also not fair to the residents.
Part of it, though.
They would be
So I
subject
think-
to our same
Same
ordinances.
Same ordinances that we have.
here.
And so then my question
Put it
is,
in the ordinance itself.
what have we gained and lost in the last legislative session in our ordinances?
Yeah, we hadn't gained anything.
Right. We've lost a lot, and I guess before I say yes, I'm all for this. I would like. I mean, I get it. Like if we're not out there, Levy County's out there. The same businesses are going to come in. But I guess I would just like to know before we go and speak to the residents, and before we know, what are we still able to do?
So does it require a vote?
Does not.
Okay. So I mean, it's like we're kind of like all over the place. So how do we move forward if there is no vote or consensus?
I think what I'm hearing from you all is it's going to be case specific, and you're open to our pitches on what staff feels like is appropriate annexation, and in which form and in which ways. Okay, we can do that.
And I would put the word out there that if anybody is
Does
interested in
everybody
voluntary
agree to that?
annexation, come see us.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that it?
I don't know, is it?
I don't know.
I don't think we can do
Are you-
that
are
without
you
a
done?
specific piece of property in mind. Yeah.
I think that it is going to be if your answer is we're interested in it, and the only question is it's going to be case specific, and you've let us know your concerns. There are certainly properties that we can.
So
go
what do you
into.
mean by case specific?
Because each property that we think about annexing will have different characteristics. Do we already have utilities there? What direction is it? What size is the parcel
How is it
or
zoned?
parcels? How is it zoned?
Yeah.
Are they willing to annex or unwilling to annex? So voluntary versus involuntary. So each property is going to have a different set of factors for you all to take a look at. But you've told us the things that you'd really like and the things that you would be super concerned about. And I think that we can target properties based on that direction.
And what it would cost them, if anything, and also cost the city.
It is always something that we look into before we would propose a voluntary or involuntary
Yeah,
annexation.
it depends on if we're doing it or they're doing it.
So how far does our utility stretch outside the county?
So in that area, we have utilities almost all throughout 318 off the left side, Northeast 40th Place, going all the way down, and then down in Lincoln Heights, past Lincoln Heights, going, I think, stopping a few hundred feet right before the cemetery out there.
Yeah, sorry to say, I know we're to
That
New
far?
Hope.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
almost to the county line.
I didn't realize it was
And
that
the
far.
majority of that infrastructure
know-
is newer also.
Okay. I know the chief and I spoke in depth at some point.
Yeah,
And we
We've
looked
got fire
at-
hydrants almost to Miss Stokes's property out there.
Wow,
Okay.
that's the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what we've heard from you all is places that we already have utilities. You are interested in annexation,
Correct.
so we
Cornelius
can
Williams
start.
Park.
Yeah.
Down 27 to Cornelius Williams Park.
But then if we have somebody that's annexed in and that property is connected to it, then you can kind of like,
Yeah, you can't.
Everything will have to be
can't leave it
contiguous.
enclave.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do Alex and I
move forward.
have permission to go out and see who wants to be annexed?
Yep.
And then bring back a report?
Yep. That's what it sounds
Alex?
Sounds good.
If he's so inclined to help you, go for it.
All right.
like. Why would he not be?
Because he's got a lot to do.
Well,
That's not annexation.
it's part of it.
Kind of not in his ball of wax there. It's not in yours either, but y'all go for it.
But I'll do it.
Yes, sir.
I will provide
Take
you.
the chief with you. The other chief.
I will provide you, because I told Donald I would do this, I will provide you with the spreadsheet that Newberry gave me, because I went to them when I was still in Bronson and said, how are you doing this? And there is a spreadsheet that basically says, this is what you pay right now being a Levy County resident, this is what you're going to pay if you're a City of Williston resident. And it
Because
is
they're gonna
always
know.
more. I'll give you that too if you want, but I will give you a spreadsheet.
And if they annex into the city, their water bill will be a little bit cheaper.
I was like, it shouldn't always be
Unless
more.
they do away with that 25%.
There's something that they're not gonna have to
then they
pay.
won't.
Which is true. then
Which
it'll-
it'll
now
be
they
the
have to pay the
same.
city tax.
All- Some of these things in here are going away anyway.
Yeah, and which we all know is the state is pushing new homeowners and businesses to not have septic tanks.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the big push from the state right now. So a plus to them is if you're already on our system, you've got our water, you've got our sewer. You know, anybody that's coming in that area can have our water and our sewer.
If they're on the right side of the
If
road.
they're on the right side of the road. Correct.
We need to missile shot it to get it on the other side.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Item D, Resolution 2026-10. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the interlocal agreement for fire inspection services between the City of Williston and the City of Fanning Springs, authorizing appropriate parties to sign any documents required to execute such agreements on behalf of the City of Williston and providing an effective date for our Inspector Danny Wallace.
Yes, this is the same agreement that we did with the Cedar Key and also with the county. Everything has been sent over to the city attorney, and she looked it all over and approved it. And it's here in front of you. Just they want to contract us to do their fire inspections.
Move approval of resolution 2026-10.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment from the public? Any comment from the council? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Item number E, Resolution 2026-11, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the amendment for execution of the State of Florida Department of Transportation Public Transportation Grant Agreement for financial project number 444473-1 regarding the Williston Municipal Airport design and construction of the new T hangar, authorizing appropriate parties to sign any document required to execute such amendment on behalf of the City of Williston and providing an effective date. Airport Manager Benton Stiegel.
Yes, ma'am. So our contractor ran into some issues during the building of this hangar project with some of the subs that they've had and some other things that we've added onto the project. So this amendment allows for a little bit more time and an increase in funds for some of the things that we've added to the project. There was a surplus in the original contract, so all the funds that are being added to this contract do stay within the confines of the grant. So we're not adding anything outside of that. The airport's not going to be paying any additional funds, nor is the city. It's just a very simple time extension and a update on the scope.
Any questions or discussions?
I make a motion.
Can I get a motion?
Sorry.
Okay.
I make a motion we approve resolution 2026-11.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any conversation from the public? Any conversation from the council? Seeing none, move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you very much.
Item F, Resolution 2026-12, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving and entering into an agreement to piggyback contract for electric construction services, making certain findings and support thereof, authorizing the City Council President to execute the piggyback agreement, repealing all resolution in conflict, and providing an effective date. Attorney Kiersten Ballou.
So I will defer to staff for the specifics on this, but what you have in front of you is a piggyback of a contract from New Smyrna Utilities, which is their sort of utility authority in New Smyrna. They have a contract with Utility Lines Construction Services, LLC, which is the service provider in the agreement. We're looking to piggyback off of that contract. What that means is the same competitive rates given to New Smyrna, the same rates given to us. The only differences between the New Smyrna contract and our contract are outlined in the agreement to piggyback contract. So those are obviously references to New Smyrna would be changed to the City of Williston. We're making changes to the scope of work in order to reflect that we're going to have change orders in writing, etc. Public records, notice, venue, etc. All of those we've updated to be in accordance with our policies, but all of the material terms that they have with New Smyrna stay the same. So happy to answer any questions on the logistics of that.
So when you piggyback on a contract, you don't have to be close to them?
Just in the state of Florida.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
You often are close because contractors don't typically service Tallahassee area and Miami, but sometimes they're big companies.
Okay. Can I get a motion? Does anybody have any questions?
I do have a question, but you want the motion first?
Please.
Motion first. I move resolution 2026-12 to be approved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion from council?
My question is it is electric services, but why are we putting electric? Is it just a general contract? Or
no, ma'am.
is it something specific?
It's an electrical contract, and when our employees are unable to do the job, so they have specialized equipment, being pulling rigs, things to install large wire, we would contract with them to bring in those specific items. We don't have the means or the funds to buy some of these larger pulling rigs that we would need to pull in the large wire, so they're available and willing to do the work for us.
So it's nothing specific right now. It's just if we need them.
That's correct.
That's
As
why I
needed.
couldn't get specific from what I had read. That's what I was trying to figure out. So
Yes, ma'am.
on standby if we need them.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Madam President, just a point of clarification. We have been using ULCS for quite some time,
I thought so.
but we did not have a contract.
Okay.
We're trying to clean up something we've been doing for a very long time in a legal way.
Any other comments from the council? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2026-13, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the Pacero Association Supplemental Agreement Number 1 regarding the new T-Hangar project at the Williston Regional Airport, authorizing appropriate parties to sign any documents required to execute same on behalf of the City of Williston and providing an effective airport manager, Benton Stiegel.
Yes, ma'am. Some of you may not remember. I know it was so long ago that you just approved this amendment for this FDOT agreement that was 2 items ago. But this is the continuation of
Was a joke, huh?
the work. Yes, ma'am. The work order for Pacero to continue their work as well as our engineering firm during the build out of this project.
I make a motion, we approve resolution 2026-13 before we
Second.
forget about it.
So I have a motion, can I get a second? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from the council? Ms. Wright? Ms. Jones? Oh my gosh. All right. I move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you very much.
All right. Item H, Resolution 2026-14, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving a sealed bid auction for surplus property of police vehicles number 182 and number 202 and providing an effective date.
There you go.
Chief Mike Rolls is not here at the time, so we will move forward and then we will come back.
There it goes.
Okay. We will stay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Seal bid.
We've already
Resolution.
did the seal bid.
Why is it on the
We
agenda?
did the seal bid last meeting.
It's on the agenda for 182 and 202.
202. Yes, ma'am.
This is the
Was
resolution.
it a resolution?
This is the resolution to your verbal vote.
Oh, I wasn't here.
Authorizing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I
do
just
you have anything to
I just
say?
request that you authorize it, please.
I make
Okay.
a motion that we approve resolution
Like I already did it.
2026-14.
Have a motion?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from the council? All right, I'll move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Item number I has been tabled. Item number J, Resolution 2026-16, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving the special project letter from Foles and Walker LLC for litigation project, authorizing appropriate parties to execute any document needed to effectuate such approval on behalf of the City of Williston and approving an effective date. Attorney Kiersten Ballou.
Thank you, Madam President. So as we have discussed before, the city is facing litigation from the Firestones and Carries in regarding to allegations of an inverse condemnation of their property due to alleged flooding. So we have reached out to your insurance provider to see if they will cover. They have given us a denial. We are going to challenge that, so we will be sending out that letter. In the interim, litigation continues. So we do have to continue on. Under our legal services contract, 2 items are special matters that are not covered under your general services retainer on a monthly basis. Those are projects that take more than 10 hours. There have been many projects that have taken more than 10 hours that we have not issued special project letters for, because I know that we're in a tight spot, so we do try to be flexible on those things. CLE and Laurel Point come to mind. But the litigation matter, it will incur costs. So we do offer a reduced rate under your retainer contract. So we are still working to see again if we can get your insurance to provide you with a counsel, at least potentially if it gets dismissed. Maybe they can get you to that stage in the interim. If we do not get counsel through your insurance, Volkswagen would be your counsel for this, unless you choose to hire. You are welcome to hire someone else under your contract. We estimate that the costs, if we can resolve it without trial, that's all the way up to right before trial, will be about $15,000. My request is that you authorize me to work with Birchfield and Humphrey, which is a firm that does inverse condemnation, typically on the plaintiff's side. My firm has worked with them opposite. Bruce Humphrey is an excellent attorney, and I believe it will be cost effective, even though his rate is higher. It will be more cost effective for me to be able to call him and ask him a question on a one-off basis than it will be for me to spend 3 or 4 hours researching something that he knows offhand. So that would be my request to you all. I have the special project letter in front of you. My only other request for you all today is going to be that I need a shade meeting with you all. And I know that many of you have probably not been in a shade meeting. So a shade meeting is a very specific type of public meeting under Florida law. And we call it a shade meeting because during the litigation, it's going to be private. So we'll open up a public meeting. We'll say we're about to start a shade meeting, and then we'll kick everybody out except for the council members, your city manager, and myself. And then we will talk about how you all want us to proceed with litigation, right? Settlement or fully litigate, or what the status is on that. We can't make any decisions. So no votes during that. You just sort of give me your ideas, and then I go forward. There'll be a court reporter there who is taking down all of the verbatim conversation. After the meeting is concluded, we'll reopen it to the public. If there's any specific direction, that's when we'll make a motion. And then after the litigation is fully concluded, the transcript of that meeting will be available publicly. So it will only be after it's fully resolved, whether that be through trial or through settlement. So I know that that's a lot of information. One of the requirements under Florida statute is that in order to have one of those meetings, I have to ask you for one in a public meeting. So that is what I am doing now.
So in that meeting is when we can discuss whether, I don't know why I'm saying it now, but is in that meeting is that when we can discuss if we win or lose, if we win, getting, instead of the city having to pay your costs, getting the plaintiffs to pay.
Yeah, so
we can discuss that as well.
Yeah, so in the meeting, we can discuss anything regarding the litigation. I'll give you an update. We had mediation on Monday, so I would give you an update on how that mediation went, sort of our thoughts on potential future settlement, our thoughts on, what the odds are, etc. And then anything including assignment of attorney's fees and what the law is surrounding all of that, we can absolutely discuss.
Okay.
Can the shade meeting be attached to a regular council meeting, like at the end or at the beginning?
Absolutely, yes.
That would be ideal for me. I don't know if we're trying to pick a date now.
It may be convenient to pick a date at this point. I would like to have it when we're available.
So do we need to make a motion on this?
Now, you said a court report is going to come. Does it need to be in the beginning of the meeting, or are we paying them to be here?
We would give them a certain start time. So I would recommend that it be before a meeting, just so that we have a sense of it. I do know, as it so happens, right in front of your next council meeting, we have depositions in that case scheduled. So they're there's a lot going on already, so I wouldn't be able to do it before that meeting. I would like to get it done relatively quickly, to just get a sense from you all. Obviously,
Maybe
the
the
longer
first-
we litigate. Go ahead.
First meeting in April. That'll
Yeah.
be the 7th.
And I can reach out to the opposing counsel and just see if we're able to push those depositions back in anticipation of that April 7th. If not, then we'll just do the depositions and that'll be what it is. But we can accommodate before the meeting in April.
Okay.
How long would the shade meeting last?
I would recommend an hour. That would be my thinking.
So I would just suggest that if possible, on the date that we have that particular meeting, that our agenda is light. So that the citizens don't have to wait, come in, leave, wait an hour, and then have a long council meeting thereafter.
So would the shade meeting take place an hour prior to the 6 o'clock meeting, or starting at the 6 o'clock meeting, going for an hour, and then we would start the council meeting at 7?
You could do either. Whatever
so you
is
can do it before.
whatever is more convenient for you. You could push your regular council meeting back to 7, and we could start at 6.
Oh, okay.
We're perfectly welcome to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can't get here any earlier.
It's hard.
Yeah,
but,
I was hoping that's not what you guys were saying. But
And you need the time to get here, too.
Yeah, that would be ideal. If that's
We can do
And we
possible.
could advertise it as such. that
Exactly.
not
We
to
would
come
make
till
sure that we
7.
advertised it such that everyone knew
Right.
that would be that period of time. So absolutely, we can do that.
okay.
So
So let's go
Same
shoot
time.
for the 7th of April.
Yep.
Just keep us updated.
And then the only thing that I'll need a motion on is the resolution if you do approve it.
Okay, and I get a motion? Do I have a motion? Are we approving it?
I move resolution 2026-16.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the public? Any discussion from the council further? All right, seeing none, I move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. You want me to do this or you want to do this?
I'll do it.
All right, so now we'll have an open public hearing. Item number K, Attorney Kiersten Ballou.
Madam President, this is the second reading of Ordinance 2026-757, an ordinance of the City Council for the City of Williston, Florida, amending Chapter 10 of the City Code of Ordinances regarding animals to provide for additional definitions, updated fine schedule, updated requirements regarding impounded dogs, updated dangerous dog requirements, updated licensing requirements, new tethering restrictions, updated restrictions for on and off property restraint of animals, updating restrictions for livestock, new restrictions on animals and vehicles, new requirements for microchipping of pets, and updated provisions regarding animal cruelty, providing for conflict, providing an effective date. I know that it says Chrissy Lewis. She is unfortunately not able to join us today. So this will look familiar to you. You'll remember at our last meeting before last, we had the discussion around a lot of this. There were a couple of things that we changed from first to second reading based on your concerns. So you'll see in section 10-6, impoundment of animals, a concern was raised that our existing code, which we had not previously touched, was not in alignment with what the council wanted our code to be. So we added in language regarding for euthanasia of unclaimed animals only in the event of, an injury, illness, behavioral issues that made them unadoptable, quality of life, those kinds of things, rather than just providing for a blanket 48 hours and then the animal could be destroyed. So that is one of the changes that we made. And then the other change that we made was regarding the livestock provision 10-19. We had a lot of language in there that had to do with, if it's not zoned for agricultural use, and then as to other zoning restrictions. And the discussion that we had was that we were really hoping to just say, as it's reflected in our code, however is current. That way we don't have to keep updating this section of the code anytime we update the zoning section of the code. So those are the changes in front of you. This is the information that we have, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any question for council? I think Ms. Debra was thinking.
There was another area that had something about 72 hours in it that was actually bold in red. I'm trying to find it, but I can't. It was actually red. It was the only thing in the whole thing that was red. I'm looking. Can't find it. We're looking for it. Huh? Anybody find it? And I might be okay with it. And my questions about the penalties, I realized they referred to a section. I couldn't figure out
what that reference is.
When you read it at the beginning, you really can't tell what it's referring to. But then you realize when you continue reading that it means it means each section. That's the penalty for that area. I figured that out too, but like I said, I don't know where that other 72
Section
hours.
10.6 impoundment, there's a 72-hour period in there, page 94, page 4 of 9, or page 94 in the packet.
10.7, you say?
10.6 impoundment.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. But it's not red. And I guess I'm okay with it yeah, and I like the way it said the 72 hours only counted if it was open.
Okay.
So I was okay with that. But there was another one that was actually red. I guess it doesn't matter if I can't find it, huh? I don't want to hold it up. Well, I think I can't find it now. But it jumped right out at me before, but it's not doing it now. Never mind.
Any discussion from the public? All right, can I get a motion? We haven't done a motion. Can I get a motion?
I think the tethering part is a little confusing.
Oh, we're not done.
Huh?
I thought you were done. Go ahead.
I am.
What about the tethering
When it talks
part?
about the tethering, it's a little, which is section 1012, 10.10-12. It is a little, it's very strict. I'll say that.
I think this was one of the sections that we talked about on the first reading, and there were some questions about why do we have, that specific language regarding the equipment itself, and it was because we had referenced the standard equipment for like a something that is made to be a tie-out rather than just like something that someone has put together to be a tie-out.
A chain or...
Correct.
Yeah.
So it is very specific, but the specificity is based upon recommendations both by like animal rights groups and also based on the specifications of things that are made to be tethers and tie-outs versus like homemade.
I think my issue was it had to be swivel on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
And that if it's something through a stationary object, it's not always easy to have a swivel on the end that is connecting.
Yeah, they make those that swivel on both ends. That's to stop the dog from getting tangled up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it doesn't swivel on the end, dogs, when they run in circles.
Right.
The cord would just keep getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until it chokes the dog out.
Right.
So they make them where it swivels on the end that it's tied to, and it swivels on the part where
And how do you
connects
connect it to the stationary object?
Oh, there's several different ways. It wraps around, it locks on.
And then it swivels?
And then it swivels.
And then it swivels. So it wraps around and then it swivels. I couldn't figure out how to make it swivel once you locked it around.
And then you have the ones that they may have a hook on the end that you can hook through an eye hook and it swivels.
Yeah, hook is the most common.
Yeah.
Get them at Tractor Supply.
Okay. Cool.
It's just to stop the dogs from choking themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Timothy Egger, 225. What's the fines gonna be, for somebody that's a multiple offense on something like that too? And how they gonna be found guilty? 'Cause I know y'all talking about, the last time I was here, kinda like a judge, over this. I agree if it's got something to do with animal cruelty, but not a judge. It should be a committee of like 5 citizens to do this, not a judge, because there's no impartiality with just one person. I'm just kind of curious about the fines on that.
The fines are pretty steep. They're in the ordinance. I mean, in the resolution. Not ordinance, it's an ordinance.
Okay.
How
do I get it?
Answer.
Yeah, absolutely. So the fines are laid out for each of the sections, a violation of the section for first offense, and then there is additional add-ons to the fine for second, third offenses. The special magistrate, currently we have a code enforcement board that would, as our ordinances are written now, look over these items. That is your committee of 5 citizens. We have a very difficult time finding people who are willing to serve on that board, and the challenge, a lot of the challenges that and many cities face that challenge. It's not unique to Williston, and the reason for that is people really don't want to police their neighbors, right? It could be your neighbor that comes in with an animal cruelty charge, and then you really do have an issue with impartiality. Whereas if you have somebody who comes in from sort of somewhere else and they come and they sit as if they are a judge, and so it helps you with that impartiality to have that individual.
Thank you.
I'm just going to answer Mr. Eckert's question about where you can find these. It's on page 93, the fines of the agenda from tonight, which is on the City of Williston website.
All right, can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the second reading of ordinance 2026-757.
I have a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the public? Any further discussion from the council? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. We'll now close the public hearing. Item number L, discussion with possible action, 2026 COW compensation plan, HR Director, Kim Troy.
I think we need to bring you a table right up here in the front so we can have a discussion.
I can stand up there if you would like me to.
Table? Are you good back there?
Yeah.
Can you see her?
I can see her. You can't see her?
Ever down there.
Okay. If you'll come up to the podium. Yeah, if you'll move. Okay, Miss Troy, you can stay there, ma'am.
Mr. Roberts gonna
Mr. Roberts is gonna, so we can see you. Can you see him?
No.
You still can't see her?
Now I can.
Oh.
She's sitting down. Now you can't see her.
That's okay. I'll follow.
Okay, so kind of this was last done in 2012. It was paid for. The city paid $12,000 for it. I did it for free. Well, I mean, not free, but you know what I mean. And kind of the idea that came behind this is capping people's pay. Because if nobody in the city wants to pay a mower currently $30, right? So with the certifications and everything, yes, it's department head approval, but this is designed to kind of, in a way, if they want to make more money outside this range, then they need to promote, right? Just like anywhere else. So that's kind of the theory that is behind this, and it was driven by the amount of money we were paying out in certifications. It got out of control. And that's no fault to anybody's, because it was, it was department head approval. We had forms, we didn't have forms. So this kind of helps us out in keeping the budget under control. And that's really the theory that is behind this, and most places do have it. If you look at different municipalities, a lot of them do have it. It may not be available on their website, but in the compensation plan, the first page is the pay grade scale, and not every one of them, the pay grade scale, so not everyone starts at the minimum, and they don't always go to the maximum, because they're kind of far ranges. So, on some of them. But, this establishes what pay grade somebody falls into, and their pay has to fall into there. But in the job descriptions, it also puts the pay range. So, for example, the first page for accounts payable specialist, you know, that pay range is right there with the pay grade. And it gives all the detail of the job descriptions. All of them had that perform other duties as assigned. And just the requirements for each one. So pending any of your questions.
So I have a question. So, basically you're saying that accounts payable can start at pay grade 1 and go all the way up to pay grade 26?
No, ma'am. It's assigned pay grade 5.
Right, but we have 26 pay grades.
Let's see, 5, there's the dollar amounts right there.
Correct, but we have 26 pay grades.
I'm not understanding.
But it's in number 5.
Right, but does that person have an opportunity to go up to pay grade 26?
Yes, if they promote.
Only if they change.
If they promote, okay.
Yeah.
So, that was my question.
Sorry. Yeah, they can, but I changed jobs to get there.
Okay, so they have to be in a different job, so your accounts payable will only go up from your minimum to your maximum in that pay grade.
Yes, and then this has to get, according to the HR manual, and it makes total sense, this has to come before council after, let's just say, next October, everybody approves a 1% raise, right? So I have to adjust this to 1% to match the COLA pay. And then you all have, it comes right back to you every year. It has to be approved every year.
Which part are you increasing? The minimum or the maximum?
I mean,
or
that's
the hourly?
It would be both, I think.
Yeah, well, so next year, this is going to go up to, minimum wage has to go up to $15. It's Florida statute. So it has to come back regardless based on the minimum wage going up. And the minimum and the maximum, I mean, generally you increase both with the COLA range. But you're gonna have to do the maximum regardless, because in the HR manual, everybody that is capped out they are entitled to the COLA. That's why it's gotta get approved every year.
Still thinking? Can I say something?
You can say something. I'm still thinking, yeah. Go ahead.
I kind of have the same comment I had before. It's hard to compare this without seeing what we had before.
The 2012?
No, like last year.
Oh!
Is this what's in the budget?
Yes.
This is what's currently budgeted?
Yes.
They all fall in the right range? And,
yes.
And
so the budget doesn't have the ranges. The budget has what that current person is making.
Right.
And I made sure everybody fell into what they were making.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that, accounts payable can put in, let's just say our accounts payable made 1612. They're not going to automatically jump to 2328. If they go get a certification, it's approved by the department head and they warrant the dollar, as long as they stay below 2328 for this year, then, that gives a little bit of wiggle room. It gives a little bit of wiggle room for hiring, with experienced CDLs, stuff like that. It provides that for that, but they cannot max out. They can't go above 2328
and also
for this fiscal year.
From one job to another.
Huh?
Also an internal transfer from one to another.
So the HR manual does discuss that. I can't remember it verbatim. Yeah, it's a certain percentage or the lowest, or the lowest pay grade, whichever's higher. It's in favor of the employee.
Right. So it has to be within the pay grade that they move to.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And same with demotions. So if you demote somebody, they have to go to the maximum of that pay grade that they got demoted to. They can. It states it in the HR manual. This is kind of, everything's getting followed off what the HR manual is outlined.
Okay.
So this is still, in a sense, kind of still defeating the purpose
Defeating the purpose of.
having a minimum and a max. Because if you're going to increase that max every year, then you're still going higher and higher and higher.
So the HR manual dictates that we have to do that.
If we give a COLA.
Yes, it's only if you get the COLA.
If we don't
Yes.
give a COLA, we don't have to do it.
No.
So then we okay, yeah. So at some point, we need to discuss the COLA.
Yeah, budget.
Okay.
That's so after
That's
so
a budget
basically
discussion.
it doesn't matter if we approve a COLA or not. This still has to come back to you for approval because the HR manual states every year. But if there's no COLA approved, there's no change. But this year in October, it's October. It has to come back regardless if there's a COLA because of the $15.
Exactly.
Right, because everything has to be at $15.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And eventually you're going to have to increase the minimums, whether you do it, with the COLA or not, because minimum wage is climbing.
A totally different subject. That you and I have discussed already too. There are certain things in each one that I won't say each one, certain things in most of them that are across the board. I mean, they have certain categories like response time and or residency, whatever you call it.
Yes.
I call it response time, you call it residency requirement. They're still not consistent.
I changed them.
Some say 30, and we're looking at the January 13th, right? That's the right one?
Yes.
There's not an update from that. That's the one I have.
Yeah, because that was one that her and I talked about.
Yeah, they're not. Some are still 45 minutes. Some are 30 minutes.
Which ones are 45?
Quite a few actually. I can highlight them for you and break them to you if you want me to. There are also some that say some have an insurability clause in order to drive a truck, and some don't.
All right, those I did update.
Very
those.
few have an insurability clause.
Yeah, I did update
I
those.
figured
don't know
you
what
did
happened.
because this is all the way back to January.
Yeah,
But we haven't gotten another one.
Yeah, I updated them. I just didn't make the agenda right.
And then one of these has the residency requirement listed twice.
Oh, got it. I went through
the top and the bottom.
Yeah, the one that I did complete, I took everybody's advice. The only one that I didn't do was Miss Meredith's because this is not a live document with the names of who is in each position, because if I change those names, I have to bring it back to council. But we do have other things. We have the staffing plan that tells you who's in those positions along with the org chart. And those two are live.
That was mostly for my...
Yeah,
That's my
I just want to have that.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
necessarily
I was trying to
go
put
in
names
there.
to it as well.
Yeah, it's those two are live. Well, the staffing plan not so much, but the org chart is a live document. It changes as we move people in, and it is on my list to update tomorrow because we do have hopefully new employees starting on Monday.
So I don't know if I've got the most recent one. When I looked at the whole IT section, it doesn't have response time.
This isn't the correct one. I don't know what happened.
And they are very important.
Yes, I know.
for
Everybody.
response times.
And the one that I just completed, like I said, I don't know what happened, but all the residencies were changed to verbatim words of the employee must reside within 30 minutes of City Hall, 50 Northwest Main Street. I got rid of all the mapping and everything. So what I did was I did a Control F for residency, and I had already copied it, and every time it came up, I put that in there, and then I also did remove the redundancy in there, because Mr. Cox pointed out some redundancy in there, and I went through every page by page, and I did remove the redundancy. And then the other thing that I did...
And the ones...
The Florida license, it's a valid Florida driver's license.
Okay,
and
that's what I had as well.
That is required, and that's the verbatim that I did change.
And how about the insurability?
Yes, it's gone.
That's for, you took it out.
Yes, and all assigned city vehicles has been removed. That is, in the HR manual, everybody can be assigned one for city use only, but outside of that is up to the city manager. So I removed it from everybody's. That way, if things change, I don't know, we lose every truck here, then we're not guaranteeing in writing somebody a city vehicle. It just removes some conflict.
And I found one that didn't have a chain of command. Only one. The rest of them looked great. The animal control, so if it didn't have a response time, did you add one?
Yes.
Not just that you changed all the ones
Nope.
that were different?
Nope. If there was no residency requirement, it was already put in
So
there.
you've added it to the airport and you've added it to animal shelter?
Airport is a different thing, because they don't, unless you want me to go in and make that requirement. The reason City Hall is due to emergencies. I don't know if they handle any of that.
So we don't care where they live?
I mean, I do, personally. Like, if there's an after-hours, call out, like, fuel pump's not working, aircraft incident, whatever. We've had crashes at night, the PD calls, Matt Fortney's knocked on my door at midnight before. I mean,
Been there, done that.
Yeah, it's...
So you want the
it's me.
residency?
No, I mean, I don't... That's up to you guys.
And to me, see, it's a response time, not necessarily a residency. I don't care if they live here. I just want them to be a response within 30 minutes, and I think you would probably want the same thing. And I know for the shelter we would, if it was an after-hours thing.
I mean, playing devil's advocate there, what happens if I'm in Gainesville on a Saturday?
You can get here in 30 minutes.
I'm not going to.
From Gainesville.
Then you need to provide somebody on call.
But it says...
I mean, there's people there, right? There's people at the airport. But what I'm saying is I'm not personally going to go 80 miles an hour to get back to the
Well, it's
airport.
because you're not working. It's the people that are working.
I understand that, but they're not equipped to handle.
Okay, well, some of them say it and some of them don't. I thought they all needed
protocols
it.
and scenarios.
If you're going to say it for one, I think you need to say it for all. It's kind of what I'm trying to say.
That's fine. I can add them in.
I mean, I don't know. I found those two departments didn't have it. The animal shelter and the airport. Or the permit tech doesn't have it either, unless it's been added.
Yeah, it's been added.
An emergency permit?
Huh? Who said that? I missed it. And page 31, let me see what page that is. That's who that is. That didn't have the chain of command here. Unless you fixed it by now. I don't know.
Kim, how do we get a copy of the most recently updated one
that's
so
what
that
we
we
need.
can review it one more time?
I will email it out to you.
That would be, can I get mine printed?
Or
So
if you
we
want to
can
print them,
continue-
you can request it.
Yeah, I want mine printed too, because I highlight things. I'm a highlight.
Okay.
Especially something like this. When I'm trying to concentrate on something, I need to highlight it.
So we can continue to discuss, but we probably should table this until the next meeting.
And I still go back to, do we have to ask the union? I know I've been told no.
No,
But we
they're
are
not over.
definitely changing the requirements for a job.
They are not over the job descriptions. In the CBA, it states the city is in control of the job descriptions.
But it's not just that, it's the whole pay grade.
Look, the pay grades, we're not changing anybody's pay. These pay ranges were established in 12, but in every job description, they've had a pay grade assigned to them, whether it was outdated or not. So that is what the union received, but I mean, they're not in control of our budget either.
I know that.
And we're not demoting
But I still
anybody.
think they would want to have something to say about it. I mean, I
They
guess
don't-
guess I'll leave that to them.
No. It's the
I
CBA
guess-
dictates we do not have to do this. And I don't want to open that up.
Well, I know
honestly.
you don't. That doesn't mean they're not going to.
But it's not in their range, and that's where we tell them to stay in their lane. It's not in their CBA.
I'm hearing you.
Yes, sir.
Got a question for you. On where it says additional information / requirements during the periods for when the city mayor calls an emergency declaration for the city, employees may be required to work in preparation. Is there a way that, because on this you had there were several people that needed to be here, that was put in their job description, and then a lot of other ones did not. Is there a way that you could target it to where the first line of defense is these employees. The second one down would be these employees. Just so you're not bringing in a lot of employees for,
So we do have everybody listed, majority of them listed that way, because let's just say Kurt Williams is out on vacation, and he's the only one that has this. Cody can come in and say, nope, it's not in my job description. So everybody has been assigned, because what if the entire electric department is, I don't know, doing some other thing with another community, right?
Right.
It just protects from, if we don't have those individuals, gas, water, and sewer. We have people cross-trained in streets and parks. So if we only have one licensed person, but it takes two people and nobody can get a hold of that person, that gives us a broader field.
Right.
Is what that does. And it prevents from somebody saying this isn't, this was not in my job description about the emergency, because we tell everybody, regardless of the job in their interview, that this is a requirement.
So should we just put it in everybody's then? Instead of some people's and not others?
Yeah, I can do that.
Can you tell me which area you're talking about? Because I'm lost.
No, it was just
Page 35. Page 35. I'm looking right at it.
About the field, the workers.
Field workers, but you also have
For which section of
customer service. They're not
Which section?
on there.
of page 35?
It's just different
which
ones.
section?
Work environment varies depending on
Why would
assignment.
they be essential in an emergency?
It's a question.
So at the time of the
That's what I'm
emergency,
asking.
at the time of the emergency, we would define who's essential and not essential. So
Yes.
if we had a large, let's say, God forbid, a hurricane came through, obviously our electric crew, police, fire, those are your essential personnel at that time. As we get the calls coming in, then we're going to bring in support staff, which would be our call takers, the service the girls up front doing service, that type of thing. So.
But if you're in the middle, I guess it depends on what type of emergency is it.
Yes,
Because if
that
it's a
would be-
hurricane, you're not going to call anybody in. Either they're going to stay because they're already here in shelter in place, or.
Yeah, and that leaves it open to, let's just say we have only one customer service rep on leave, and they're out of the country, they're unreachable. This leaves it open to where, I don't know, permitting can come in and anybody can field a call, right? Anybody can field a call. And if we know it's a Cat 3 and we're going to have a ton of phone calls, we can bring people in because we have plenty of
I
phones.
answered them myself.
Okay.
So leaving that kind of in there leaves it open to us when there is an emergency, that we can figure out who's on leave, who's available, like who's where, and bring what we need in, either customer service reps, just people to help, stand outside and wave flags, direct traffic, whatever they need. It leaves it open to us to do that.
Right. Now, she'll probably throw something at me, but that's okay. For instance, there's very little things that shows Latricia doing anything. And where in a situation, reading this, not that you don't do anything, but
He just said he didn't before he even said it.
that's right. But she's a charter officer. She handles insurance and everything else. And
See her in here.
it's just one of the,
So,
She's not in here, I don't
yes, she's a charter officer. They weren't in the last compensation plan because they are appointed individuals.
Yeah.
And you all dictate their, you can change.
It's not in here.
Yeah, city
there
clerk
was a
and city
couple of
manager.
spots that she was listed.
Oh,
And then there's other, yes, in
you mean there's
here,
people reporting to her?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, that definitely.
But then again, you haven't updated.
So once again, yeah, this is we don't have the correct copy.
Means I gotta read it the third time?
All right, so, okay, so,
Gotta go home and throw away all the old ones.
so can you get us the updated copy tomorrow, and then we will table this until next meeting?
Yeah.
Is everybody in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
I can do it again.
And Kim, I'll come
and then
see
we
you
can
on,
get back to discussions. All right, item number 7, public participation. This is the second opportunity for you to speak on anything that was not discussed in the meeting. State your name and...
Yes, I'm Tim Ecker. I've got a question. I asked for a Citizens Charter Mission Amendment for a couple of them. Is there a time frame whenever I can, like...
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
That Citizens Charter Mission Amendment?
Okay.
I had two of them that I'd asked for, and is there like a time frame whenever I can get that?
Citizen charter.
So if the request is, we would have to receive the application and the petition.
Yeah, you have to bring it to us.
Okay,
It's not something we would create.
Okay, because I know I met with you and Sue and Miss Latricia about it, and nobody told me what I really had to do.
I think we discussed what it was that you needed to do. I think that we talked about specifically the numbers that you would need and the petition that would need to be signed and that you would need to create the ballot language. So, I mean, I'm happy to clarify on any of those other things, but those are the requirements.
Okay. And the next thing, is this her second time absent, Riccio? How many times can she be absent before she's got to vacate and then get her in there doing something? Because does she still get paid for not being here? I can understand she's sick. If she's like legit sick, but if she's not on board. She should be gone. Because this is a continual basis. I know I come here a lot. She's the one that's gone all the time or usually on the phone in a very disrespectful way. And as people that come in here or they look on YouTube, they see that she's not here and she's on her phone. She's messing with her nails or whatever. What's the rules on her not coming here? I would think that
In the charter.
she should be fired.
If I'm not mistaken,
3 in a
she
row.
can she has to be absent 3 continuous.
I think it's 4.
4 continuous.
Yeah, section
meetings
2.08.
Okay.
Before she is, or anyone, not
Okay.
just specifically her.
Does she still get paid even though she's not here?
And
Of
it would
course.
be, and
That's not
specifically, it's, the way that it reads is failure to attend 4 consecutive regular meetings of the council without being excused by the council.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Any other comment from the public? None. Anything from, okay, never mind. All right, so let's go to announcements. Any announcement from city manager?
I still need a consensus. I know I brought it up at the last several meetings, but consensus on whether or not we're okay with moving into the annex because Levy County is officially out as of the end of February. So are we okay to move fiber into the building?
Fiber.
Fiber.
I requested that we get numbers on what it would cost to bring that building up to ADA compliance at the last meeting.
We are doing.
I think
We're
we've
working on.
looked at that already.
So you want to wait until we get those figures?
I thought we were doing it.
Okay, no, it's fine.
I mean, whoever uses it's got to be ADA compliant.
So I spoke with Mike Stacks, the building official. We do not have to meet ADA compliance if it's a staff only. Excuse me, as long as we have a kiosk for somebody to pay their fiber, they can go to that kiosk. That's the stipulation in it. We don't necessarily have to meet it because it's an older building. It's for staff only. Obviously, the kiosk would be elsewhere, more than likely in City Hall. That's where they can pay their bill.
I would definitely
Okay.
put kiosks here.
But this is not going to be staff only. I mean, this is where people go if they have a customer service complaint, if they have a question about hooking up the equipment. It's where they may try and go and pay their bills. There are a lot of people who are going to walk in with cash or check to pay their bills, so it's definitely not going to be staff only. In my personal
Not
opinion.
if we don't advertise that that's where they are.
Well, I mean, if they come here and then they want to speak to somebody who's in the IT department, what are we going to do? Put them back in their car and drive them up there and tell them not to go in the door?
IT is one thing and fiber is something else.
Well, either way, if they come in and ask to speak to somebody in the fiber department, where are we going to send them?
So it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but the fiber technician or the admin for fiber will be here.
Okay.
So our staff would support the fiber on this side of the house.
Okay. So there would never be any need for a resident to go to that annex building?
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay.
As long as that information is put forth.
So, would there be a time that we have a staff member who needs access to the building, needs that type of a service? So it's still really probably. Why are you looking like that? So
You're right.
So if you have a staff member that got hurt, and maybe they can go and supplement over in that building, they need access.
I will move forward with getting the building assessed for ADA.
I'm just.
Yeah, I don't think it could be that much, could it?
I will also say that in that event, you could also provide them with a separate office or a space over in somewhere that is already ADA compliant. So even, I'm not saying don't get the quote, I'm just saying if it's like $10 million to do it, that is another option.
I mean, what could it take, a ramp?
No, ma'am.
I don't know what the
Unfortunately.
bathroom looks
Well,
like. The bathroom
I
may not be ADA
actually,
compliant.
I have a letter from Walt, and the doors would need to be redone. The front walkway, the grade is too steep. There's quite a lot, and he just looked at the outside of the building. He didn't even go in.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so there's quite a lot. So I guess, so you would have all of the fiber up there, with the exception of one person would be down here? Is that what I'm hearing?
In a nutshell, it's just going to be a place for us to work and a setup the guys can work out of and have the equipment there stored safely, air conditioned, can be provisioned, and a place to actually work. And because it takes room to spread these things out and connect to them and do the provisioning and such, troubleshooting, whatever they may need to do, place that they can do their paperwork or whatever they need to do on their end as well. But it's more of a place for us to work.
But there would still be one fiber person down here
Yes.
that a resident, so one person each day would be assigned to sit
Yes.
here in the city hall and speak to people.
That's correct.
And not be up there.
That is correct.
Or could come when called even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's not 6 blocks there.
I just think when our residents come in and ask to speak to somebody, they should be able to
And-
speak to somebody.
That's the plan, right? That is the plan, that we have someone here that's a representative that can deal with the customers.
And like you said, they can always come from there, right around.
It's only
up
6
the
blocks.
Road there.
Not that far.
There. That's just like if they're in a meeting, they have to sit and wait, so it's not gonna take a.
Maybe I should rephrase my question. Would it be okay to put fiber materials and IT materials in that building? Because we have some materials that are in a place that they should not be. So is that okay until we decide what to do with staff and the ADA part? Are we okay with just using it kind of as storage for now?
I think it's good for a workstation, work area.
Yeah, I agree. I think the way that Aaron said would work well. If you have somebody here, but get all the stuff out of here, put it out over there, then we don't have to worry about.
Pod somewhere.
Right.
It's not even here, it's in a pod somewhere. It
Right.
needs to be in air conditioning, like she said.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm good with it. Do we need a consensus? No. Yeah, I'm good with them to move.
Okay.
Is everybody else good?
I'm good with the equipment anyway.
The equipment, yeah.
Okay.
But if there's something that they need to do in that area.
And the
they can.
fiber techs even. I'm okay with fiber techs.
I guess we can revisit it later. All right.
Are you awake down there?
Equipment / people. He said they may need to go and do something in a bigger space. So, but that won't be their home.
That conference room's got a really nice table to lay stuff out and work on. I just wouldn't use that room for storage because it's a nice place to work.
All right. Attorney Ballou. Miss Wright.
I just want to say if I'm not here tomorrow, it's because I froze tonight.
I agree 100%.
Well, you're going to be, is it Elsa?
It's a frozen.
Just roll on in.
It's a long hair.
Let it go.
That was good. That was good. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Nothing for you?
So when we move into this building, can y'all let us know when we're putting equipment in there? So I don't think it has an alarm system, does it? We don't have alarms anywhere. Yeah. So
Well, for that, you probably,
yeah, for
need
that
an
you
alarm
probably want
system.
one. That's why I'm asking.
you have an alarm system in
If
this
people
building.
know what it is, I mean, I'm.
Yeah, and we do know the problems that we have at the hospital, so of course people
We can investigate
take
that.
advantage of it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other staff have anything? Any other staff?
Maybe we adjourn?
Nothing from anything from the council. I'm trying to get there. Anything from the council? None. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I already did twice.
Okay, can we do it officially? Do it again.
I move we adjourn.
Can I get a second? I got a motion and a second. Any discussion from anybody? Seeing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Oh, nay. No, yeah, we're adjourned.
I'm gonna stand on my head to unplug
At
my thing again.
9:30 p.m.